Yep, yep. Can you? Is it clear now? Is it? Okay. Okay, sorry for that, guys. Just have some bits of problem, but yeah. So yeah, it's a learning thing for me. So sorry for that. Yeah, let's start with this one. So I already have Rust installed on my Mac, and I think we're going next with the Hello World. So Hello World is very common when learning a language. So yeah, let's go there. And also Cargo said it's a Rust package manager, similar with npm. So yeah, let's go next. So I already have it installed, so you can try to follow this. So yeah, let's just try running some of these here. Yeah, so the version is 1.82. So we have it. So we have Rust already installed. Yep. So let's go next. So here is the hello world. Yeah, so here is, we already have the project directory set up since I already installed Rust Rover here. But if you want, we can go through it how we create the project here. I'll create a new one. I'll call this one Learn Rust v2, and I just pick this one like binary, so it will just do everything for me. So here it is, and I'm gonna switch this over to the right side. So yep, I'll increase the font size. Yeah, so you can see it. So yeah, this is the hello world. So this is how we create a new Rust project, and I'm gonna open my terminal here at the bottom. Yeah, so it's Learn Rust v2. So yeah, let's try to see how it works. So yeah, so let's try running it. I think the best way to run it is, for now, is I'll try the CLI thing, rustc main.rs, which is here. Yeah, so it's source, so rustc source main.rs. So once that's run, it says here that it will compile the file. So it will compile the file, and then there would be an executable file, I think. Yeah, so as you can see here on my current directory, there's this main that was created. So I think we just need to execute that. Yeah, so it's hello world. So let's try again, hello Rust, and then rerun the command that we tried earlier. So rust c again, and then try the main. Yeah, so it works. So we are now a Rust developer, I would say, since we have created a very basic hello world program. Yeah, so I think they are very similar to how other languages work. They are using main. I think Golang is also using main. And then, yeah, they are using brackets as well, which is similar to JavaScript or Java in general. And yeah, so it says here, yeah, they're following like curly brackets and unfunction bodies. So yeah, that's good. So that's what we did here. So we didn't write any code yet. We just changed this one. So it says here Rust style is 4 spaces, not a tab. Okay, so this is guidelines that we should follow. So it's indenting with 4 spaces. So as you can see, there's 4 spaces here. If I create let's try doing here print line. Let's see if there's an error that will run. Let's try it, and if this will Okay, so there's no error. Okay, so it's just a guideline that it's a standard, so it's not it will not throw an error or something if we don't follow it. Next is print line is a Rust macro. If it had call, it would be entered as print line without. So Rust macros, yeah, we will not learn more about that. It's chapter 19, but let's try. Oh, there's an error. So I think this is what happened. So there's an error when we remove the exclamation part. Okay. So yeah. Okay. So we should just remember that if there's a exclamation, it's a macro. Okay. And yeah, I think every Rust statements or ends with a semicolon, so we should not forget that. So print line has just a string, which is this is a string, so we just pass that. Okay. So yeah, it's very similar to C or C++ with GCC or C lang. These are all like compilers as well with C and C++ programs. So yeah. So let's go next. Oh yeah, it also says here Rust is ahead of time compiled language. Okay, so meaning you can compile a program and give it to the executable, give the executable to someone else and they can run it even without having Rust installed. Okay, so you can pass these executables to someone. So they're very similar with how C or Golang or C++ works. So yeah. So cargo, so we will proceed with cargo. So this one. Okay, so cargo is their package manager. So it's very similar to npm or with Node. Like npm is the Node package manager. So Rust has its own thing called cargo. So it says here, manage their Rust projects. Cargo handles a lot of tasks for you, building your code, downloading libraries, building those libraries. Okay, so so we don't have dependencies on our first code here. As you write more complex Rust, you'll add dependencies. Okay, so as you have more complicated Rust programs, you need to add cargo, or like you need to use cargo for installing dependencies. Like for example, like web servers. I think they have web servers or frameworks that is for Rust. So you can like create an HTTP server or something. So let's try this one. If we just need to make sure if we have cargo installed. So cargo version. Yeah, I have cargo. So it's cargo is built in with the Rust CLI with the Rust C since yeah, I didn't install it. I think when I installed Rust it has cargo was installed as well. So here it's saying we can create a new cargo. Okay, let's try creating a new project with cargo, see what's the difference between them. So creating binary. Okay, okay, so we have an existing, so our existing project is already a cargo project because we have this cargo.toml. So when I check the hello cargo, there's also hello cargo toml, which is the same one here. Okay. Yep, so I will just delete this one for now. So I will just use the learn Rust v2 project. Yep, so let's see. So package is so 3 lines. It says here the next 3 lines says the configuration cargo needs to compile your program name, version of the edition. Okay. Okay, so this is needed if you want to know what the version of the application is, what the version of Rust is, something. So we don't have dependencies yet, so there's no dependencies listed here. So in Rust, packages of code are referred to as crates. You won't need any crates for this project. So any dependencies or yeah, packages in Rust are called crates. So that's what it said here. Okay, so yeah, I think yeah, with cargo, the main difference with cargo and the original Rust implementation, I think the main difference is with cargo, the toml file. If we do a project like a new from scratch and just have Rust and you won't have cargo, the main difference is you won't be having this. Yeah. Okay, so there's also building and okay, let's try this. I think this is important. So cargo build, what will that do? So it says here, learn Rust, finish dev profile, unoptimized, debug info, target. Okay, so I think it just builds the current directory. I think this command creates an executable file. Let me just delete this RMA file for now and do cargo build again. So this command creates an executable file rather than in your current, because the default build is a debug build. Cargo puts binary name debug. You can run. Oh, okay. Okay. So if I delete this one right here, I have this target folder. I'll delete it. So what cargo build will do is it will create this target folder, and then basically you can execute from the debug folder. So target debug, and then there's this learn Rust v2. So if we just go there real quick, there's also cargo run. Okay, so cargo run will run the build, the binary that we built earlier. I see. Yeah, so it's building. So it's running the learn Rust v2, which is target, debug, and then learn Rust, which is the binary that was built. Okay, so Rust will handle that. Okay, that's really cool. So use cargo run is more convenient than having to remember. Okay, so most developers use cargo run. Okay, so if we delete this one right now, we delete this again, and let's try cargo run. Okay, so it will build and run at the same time. Okay, I think cargo run is useful when you're just if you just want to run it directly, like doing a build and then running. I think the build one is when you're trying to build assets, or like if you want to containerize it or something. I think that's where you will run a build, or maybe do a compile, like you want to build it, check some errors around with it. So yeah, there's also cargo check. Make sure it compiles but doesn't produce an executable. Okay, that's really smart. So cargo check. So let's try having an error. Save this and then running cargo check. So this should throw an error probably. Oh, it is not throwing an error. Why is that? So this command checks your code to make sure it compiles. Oh, wait a sec. So Rust will not throw an error if there is no semicolon. But if it's something like this, yeah, it will throw an error. Let me try doing cargo check again. Yeah. So it will throw an error if it's not properly formatted. But so the semicolon is not required on Rust. Let me just double check that. Yeah, it's not required. I think it's just a best practice to add it. Yeah. So cargo check is much faster than cargo build. Okay, cargo check is just yeah, I think it's better when you're developing or you're working on a project and then you just want to check if it's it can be compiled or something, like there's no errors. Many Rust cargo check as they write their program to make sure it compiles. Yeah. Okay, so we learned cargo new, cargo build, cargo run, cargo check. Yeah, we learned that it's just checking it. Instead of saying, yeah, we also learned that target will be created once you run a cargo command, like the build, the run. I think cargo check will not create a target folder. Let me try deleting this. So let's try cargo check again. Yeah, oh, okay. It will create a target folder, but without the binary. So there's no binary here. Okay. Let's not learn about release yet. So cargo doesn't provide a lot for us to prove its worth. Okay. Okay, so yeah, hello cargo, the project we have right now, like this is just a very basic one, which is hello world, so it doesn't really mean anything. So yeah. Okay, so summary, yeah, I think we're done here. So what's the next step? Programming a guessing game. So this is a project, this is a new project, I think. Which part? Which part? Yeah, so okay. So yeah, let's go with this one. Programming a guessing game. Huh. Okay, so this is a very basic, I think, a very basic game or program. So, okay, so here's how it works. Program will generate a random integer between 1 and 10. Okay, 1 and 100. It will then prompt the player to enter a guess. After a guess is entered, the program will indicate whether the guess is too low or too high. If the guess is correct, the game will print a message and exit. Okay. This is a new one. Let's create this project. So here I'm on Learn Rust v2. So I will just try the CLI commands that I'm working on. So I'm just guessing game. I will cd to the guessing game folder. So I'm here. So this is the guessing game folder. So we will be editing our files here. Okay, so yeah, so let's try, see. So we have new hello world, let's just try running it. Cargo run. Yeah, so hello world was run. Okay, so it works. So let's try this. Okay, so there's things here that I don't understand as well. So what's this? I think this is importing a standard library. So first part will ask for user input, process that input, and check the input is in the expected form. Enter the code. Okay. Yeah, so let's try doing it. So let's code it. So first is guess the number. And the next one is same, it's a print line, so I'll just copy this and then I'll do please input your guess. Okay, so that's it. So two print lines, and then I'm not sure what, I think this is declaring a variable. Let mut guess equals new string. Okay, this is how they declare their variables. So I'm just gonna copy it right now. So stdin dot read line. Okay, so I'm not sure what this code does. So guess and then dot expect failed to read line. Okay, that's lots of code. And then just copy this one, and then you guessed, and then have a guess. Huh. Okay. So there are a few things I don't understand. Okay, I forgot the standard library. So let's type that in. Use std. Oh, yeah. Okay, so what's the error? There's an error. Print line. Oh yeah. Oh, okay. So it will throw an error. I see. So it will throw an error once I didn't have this one. So maybe like maybe, oh yeah, it will throw an error. So I'm not sure why we had no errors before. Yeah. Okay. So let me read the docs here. Let me read the tutorial here. So line by line, okay? Yeah, so we need to bring IO input library to the scope. IO library comes from the standard library, yeah. So std comes means standard library, and IO is the specific library that we used. So that's the keyword use standard. Yeah, and then let's put my terminal here. If the type you want to use is an input, you have to bring that type into scope with a use statement. Okay. So we call that, and then we have to print line. Okay. So here is the variable. Here's the variable declaration. Mot guess string new. No, the program's getting, there's a lot doing. We use let statement to create the variable. I think, yeah, this is very interesting. So we can also declare a variable this way without the mut word. So this line creates a new variable, binds it to value 5. Variables are immutable by default. Oh, interesting. So mutable and immutable by default. Okay, so immutable by default. So this is an immutable variable, meaning it cannot be changed, I think. Let me try that. Apples equals 12. Yeah, so you cannot change a variable because it's immutable. But you can change the guess. You can change the guess value. So let's try dating the guess. Guess equals. Let's try that. Oh, why can't I update it? String but found. Okay, I'm not sure why is this. But yeah, the error is but found str. Yeah, maybe I have to do some more work about this. But the error with the other one is it means that it's immutable. But the error with the guess one is saying we have a type error. Yeah, this is a type error. So yeah, let's see how that works next. So yeah, so you can see here apples immutable, mutable. Yeah. So comments. Okay, yeah, this is important. Yeah, so we have comments like double slash, meaning comments are just part of your code where it doesn't really compile. It's just like for the developers where you can have notes around it. So this is a mutable variable, and then this one is immutable. If and print statement. What do you mean? Which line is the if and print statement? So yeah, okay, so we have the equal sign tells for us we want to bind something to the variable. Yeah, so equal sign is making assigning a value, and then calling string new function that returns, okay, new instance of string is. So this one is just if we're on like Java or the other like TypeScript, this is saying something like create a new string, or like a string instance, which is a string is a class or a type. So yeah, that's basically, this is like how the syntax works. So if I have a, not sure with integer or number, okay, what's the number here with them? So I'm not sure. Let me search. What is the type number on Rust? F32. Okay, so F32. Oh, okay. So yeah, so this is the type for numbers. Yeah, this is a basic program to guess the number. Yeah, so let's go with a string. So for now, so let's just run through this and just understand line by line of how it works. So yeah, so we said here input in the first line. Now we call the IO module which allow us to handle user input. Okay, let's run this first, see if I have everything set up. Okay, so there's like a warning here saying I have unused variables, which is pretty good, I would say. So let's do a input your guess, let's say 10. Okay, so very basic one. So IO standard read line. Okay, so this will just check the program and just read the input coming from the standard input. So what you type here 10, this will be the 10 will be assigned to the guess variable, and then we after we guess or add the 10, we just print a new line which is you guessed. So this one is the code for it. So this is similar with how Python string interpolation is. So you add this one, but in Python you will just have something like an F here, but here you just have a placeholder and then based off on that. So if we do something like double here, we should have double, I think, guess, yeah. So it's something like that. So what the first one would be the first here, and then the second one would be the second argument. So it's very similar with Python, or string interpolation with Python. So yeah, so we need to understand this one. I think it's important what this guy, like the ampersand sign. Okay, so let me read. The ampersand indicates that this argument is a reference, which gives you a way to let multiple parts of your code access one piece of data with it without needing to copy. Which gives you a way to let multiple parts of your code access one piece of data without needing to copy that data into memory multiple times. Wait a sec. References are a complex feature, one of Rust's major advantages of how safe and easy it is to use references. You don't need a lot of those details to finish. For now, all you need to know, variables and references are immutable by default, okay? Hence, you need to write rather than guess to make it mutable. Okay, so I think it's we don't need to understand it thoroughly for now. I think chapter 4 will handle that. But basically, we need to have the code written this way. But yeah, this one is references, called reference, and it means I think it's how Rust works. Like when you add a variable, something like this, it puts something on memory on your computer, on your CPU, or even on your RAM, and then it's like a pointer somehow on C++ or C. So yeah, and when you use that, it just points it right back to the memory, and then basically, yeah, you can reuse this variable and then put it out anywhere, I think, on the code. So that's how like pointer works, or like reference works. So I think, yeah, this is a complex one. We don't need to put too much details here. I think it's a very complex one. So for now, let's just skip through it. And yeah, okay. So yeah, for now, yeah, we will just skip this one for now. So I think error handling is not. I think what this means is once you read a line, you read a standard input, and then if there's anything happening, like something wrong or something went wrong, you just failed to read line. So it will just throw an error. Okay. Yeah, so as mentioned earlier, chapter 6, result variants are okay, and error the okay indicates operation was successful, and error okay is also generated value. Variant operation failed. Okay. Yeah, so this is a result and error. So if you don't call expect, the program will compile. Okay, so let's remove expect word. It says here that it will throw a okay, so this result may be an error variant which should be handled. Okay, so read line will throw a result, or okay, so this is how they work, how it works. So we have like an okay and an error. So each of the IO or like IO related stuff should be we should call expect, or like we should declare how we handle those errors gracefully. I see. That's why it's throwing an error. So let's just put it back for now. Okay, I see how it works now. So I think, yeah, that's it. And then for placeholders, it will just look something like this. As I mentioned earlier, you just have a placeholder, which is curly brackets, and then you pass the argument of which you want to show. Like this is string interpolation. So yeah, there's like an example here. I'll just copy this real quick. So it says here x is x and y plus 2 equals y plus 2. So as you can see, we can also pass it directly on the string. Really good. Okay. So let's try running it again. Let's try number 1. So it says here x is equals to 5, y is equals to 2, y is 10, and y plus 2 is 12. Okay. So either we pass it directly on the placeholder, which is what we're doing here on x, or we could just pass it right after, like a second argument. So what we can do as well is, if we want to follow that, y plus 2. Okay, so can we do this? So we can only reference variable. We cannot reference So we can only reference variable, but we cannot reference operation or something like y plus 2. So it will throw an error. What's the error? Invalid format string. Yeah, so we cannot do that. So we can only reference variable directly without any operation. Yeah. So yeah. Okay. So yeah. So this is pretty good. I think we're on the right track on learning. So let's proceed with a very basic random logic here. So as I mentioned before, we need to generate a secret. So that's our goal. We have this one is called ran crate, which is if you remember, crate is like a package that we can import. We can download it to our So this is a ran crate. Okay, so it says here library for random number generation. Okay. So this one, so this is a library where we can generate numbers basically. So we don't have to do that. Like we don't have to create the logic for that. We can just use a crate or a package that is available for us for use. So let's do that. So we just copy this one, rand, if you hear, and go to cargo.toml.file. So we are on the guessing game. Just make sure we're on the guessing game because we also have learn Rust v2, which we don't want. So we're in the guessing game. So let's add this rand, and this is the version that we want to use. If we check here, this is the latest version. So v08.5. Okay. Yeah, so this is the latest version that we're using. Good. And then how do we install this one? Okay, so without changing in the code, let's build this. Let's do a build. Cargo build. Okay, so it downloads the necessary packages or the dependencies for us directly when we call build. So there's no install, like cargo install here. Let's see if there's cargo help. Yeah, there's cargo install, but I'm not sure if that's what we want. Add, okay. Add, cargo add, okay. There's also cargo add. I think this is what we can use. Cargo add. Let's try deleting this line real quick. Just want to try. Cargo add rand. Yeah, so it will add the dependency here for us. So cargo add is the command. So instead of npm install, it says cargo add. And then we can do cargo build. Yeah. So let me just delete this so it's not doing warnings. So cargo also has mechanism to build the same artifact. Okay. Yeah, I think this is really good. So we have cargo toml, which is our file here. We have a cargo lock file, which is this is similar with package lock, pnpm lock, or yarn lock. This is very important when you are working with an application where you don't do an upgrade or you don't do anything. If you want to stick with a specific version on your application, so this is very important because this will be used to reference like which version are you using. So if ever one of the package, for example, like byte order has a new version which is 1.6 or let's say 2, something like let's say 2.0 something, and then what it means is we're only gonna be sticking to 1.5 every time we run a cargo build or cargo add command. So it means that we're not upgrading our packages, and yeah, like we just stick to a very specific version. So this is very important. Like this is a very important concept when you're working with dependencies. So so there's also when you want to update a crate, there's update command. As you can see here, it says which will, so the command update which will ignore cargo lock and figure out the latest versions that fit your specifications. Cargo will then write those versions in case. Okay, so let's try running cargo update. Yeah, so there's no, so let's try this real quick. So suppose I'm using 8.4 and then I run cargo build. So just remember I'm running 8.4 here. So what my lock file would be, let's see if I have it correct. Yeah, let's remove the lock file for now. So once I do a cargo build, so there's a new lock file. Okay, so we have a new lock file. And then if I see, just give us window here. Oh, so it's still using 0.85. Why is that? So let me see how to install a specific version. Cargo install specific version. Cargo install. Oh no, not cargo. Cargo add. Oh, okay, cargo install. Yeah, cargo install. Okay, so the command is cargo install rand at 0. What's the different versions here? Let's try an older version. 0.7.0. 7.0. So it doesn't update this file. There's no binaries. Oh, cargo add. Let's try cargo add. Cargo add. I think there's a difference between cargo add and cargo install. Yeah. So yeah, we have here which is 0.7. And then it's saying some warnings here, which is saying that 0.85 is the latest one. So let's see cargo lock file if it changed. Yeah, so cargo lock file was changed to 0.73. So cargo update command will just update the versions, making sure that we're in the right, like we're in the updated version. And then, because one of the reasons why you want to update the versions is for some, let's say a hacker, like a hacker or a black hat hacker found a vulnerability on this version here, 0.7. And then there's like an exploit with it. So if there are applications that are running 0.7 with this dependency, like a RAND, there's like a somewhere around the world that's using RAND, and then 0.7 is the version. It is possible to be hacked by these attackers or these hackers. So what we want to do is just making sure we want to upgrade always, and then read if there's like a new version that's coming out every time. There's always like security patches. There's always workaround like for the exploits. So usually the developers or the maintainers are working on making these dependencies very secure. So yeah, you just have to be mindful like what versions you're using. If you're using an unsupported, or if you're using an not secured version, you need to be mindful that you need to be secure. Like there's pros and cons as well, so you just need to be aware of that scenario. So let's do upgrade for now. Update, cargo update. See if we can update our crate. So 0 packages. Okay, so we are not updated. So I'm not sure how, but yeah, so we just need to, if there's like an error or warning, you just need to run that and then do a cargo build again. Update or build, I think same, or cargo build. So if I do cargo build, and then let me check the cargo lock file. Yeah, it's updated now. So yeah, that's very important as well, so you need to be mindful of that. So we'll just finish this one, and then we'll be doing some of these tomorrow. So yeah, let's finish this one. So we use the RAND library to generate number to guess, and then that's what we need to do next. Okay, So how it did it was, let me just remove some of these code here. So we use something like this, use rand, then RNG. So what does RNG means? So okay, wait. So RNG IO standard library RNG trait defines methods that random implements. This trait must be in scope for us to use this method. Yeah, so let's get there when in chapter 10 once like why it's called RNG, why we need that to be in there. So I think it's similar with IO. Yeah. Okay, so let's see what this code does. Okay, so after guessing a number, let secret number equals rand thread RNG. So I don't understand some of these yet, but it means like this is a range, I think. Like a range from 1 to 100. So this will generate a number from 1 to 100. So let's just copy this one right now. Like this will print the new line. And then okay. So yeah, let's copy it. Just make sure it runs. Cargo run here. So it generated 56. So for now, the order is not right. But let's say 77. You guess 77. So let me just delete this here. So let's have the order in place. So please input your guess. Okay, once you input your guess, let's do this. So once you input your guess, we have a guess variable. We add this. And then we generate a secret number, or we generate a secret number at the top, and then we do a guess so that we can check whether the guess is correct or not. So before the user do a guess, like do a number, we need to generate it on top. So yeah, let's try running it again. Input your guess. I'll do 50. Secret number is 72. Yeah. So you guess 50. So we didn't have it right. So I think that's it for now. It's a very nice language. I think, and there's lots of things that I don't understand yet for now. So I'm still working on it. But yeah, like references, I do understand how it works. I think for this one, like there's still things that I need to check, like why we need to declare something like this. So it says chapter 10. Well, we're working with scope. So yeah, I think that's it. Okay, yeah. So it's been an hour, I think. So there's been a great. It's been a great experience for me to stream this, like how I learn all this stuff, how I do research, how I read through the docs. Yeah, I'm just sharing it as well with you guys to see like how you would learn. So for me, yeah, I usually read and then I usually search. Also, I do like to break things. Like if I don't understand something, I try to break it and just see like understand what the error is, and then that's usually how I learn. So yeah, thanks for being here, and we will continue this the next time for my streams. So thanks guys, and yeah, have a great day. Cheers.